I will die on that hill.
I absolutely love Miley Cyrus.
You have failed this.
Love this show.
The sickest snipe ever. Is this? What are we doing?
No. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Call Guys podcast. I'm Gunner, also known as Chico Noise, 3-time podcast host, soon to be a first-time dad. And alongside me, as always, my good friend, Colton Keel, or as I like to call him, Juan Keel for 3, soon to be second-time dad. There it is. We've already officially announced it on Facebook and social media.
Say, for the ones who don't follow us on the social medias, yep, first time dad Gunner here. Excited for him. Excited to go through the journey of these next 9 months, even though we're a little bit farther than that. So
Yep.
we've got that. Yeah, brother, I'm excited for you. I'm happy for you.
I'm excited too because our wives are due so close together.
I know
It's gonna be like baby. What is it? Like within a week of each other.
I think it's like within 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's
so pretty exciting times.
It's probably gonna be really rough, isn't it?
Oh, brother.
Is there gonna be any Call Guys podcast during October?
We might need to pile a couple in.
Yeah, for real. Multi-record some episodes. Just get as many as we can in a week.
Yeah.
Well,
oh yeah.
Well, I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Yeah, man. I think we're both excited for each other. It's just crazy. I think the thing that I find crazy is just how close both of our kids are going to be.
Yeah. I think here's the thing that gets me. Colton kept his a secret for a long time. Even after I told him about us, he kept his a secret, and I had no clue. Here's how this went down. We had our friend's dinner, and William's there, Colton's son, and he's got a sweatshirt on, and Colton's like, "Hey, the sweatshirt's really tight. I need you to hold down the shirt while I take the sweatshirt off so it doesn't pull the shirt up." So I'm like, all right. So I go over, I grab the shirt, he pulls the sweatshirt off. I'm like, all right, cool shirt. And I just walk away. And then I think Sid said, "What does that say?" Or somebody said, "What does it say?"
Sarah noticed it.
Yeah.
Sarah noticed, like, what's that say? Does that say what I think it says?
Yeah.
Oh no, the best was my dad. My dad, the lovable oof he is sometimes, if not most of the time. He is 0 for 2 with being the first person to know that we are pregnant. And, I'll save those stories for if he does come on the pod.
Okay.
But yeah, it was kind of like what we did with Gunner there. I had him help me with William's sweatshirt, and there was a dino shirt on it, a dino on it, and it said Big Brother on it.
Yeah.
And my dad goes to the tune of "Cool Dino."
Yeah.
That's it. That's all he said.
That's still funny. That is awesome.
So yeah, I thought it was funny, and we actually did it probably, I don't know, 8 hours apart from each other, from telling my dad and telling you.
Yeah, because it was that afternoon after you guys did breakfast with him, right?
Yep. After Hannah and Caleb's wedding, which congratulations, by the way, Hannah and Caleb. Hope you're listening.
Yeah.
Glad I got to be a part of your big day. I'm sure Gunner is too.
Me too.
I know the Emperor brought it up on the Tusop episode last week. So yeah, just glad that we were able to be a part of your day, and just good luck to the rest of your lives, because they have begun now.
Like I told him, 90% of my work still is to come. I need to sit down and do some editing on that here when I get a good free day where I can just really hit it hard. It was super enjoyable. I'm pretty sure we have an email that talks a little bit about that later, so we'll get back to that.
Oh my!
I do want to say one more thing about baby news before we move on.
Okay.
I told the Emperor on Super Bowl Sunday, and we weren't hardly probably very far along at all. I wouldn't even think maybe a month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And we told him we got these little plush stress ball footballs, and at halftime I took them to him. So Sarah and I wrote on these footballs on the Emperors. We wrote new season ticket member coming in 2023, and then on the Rocker Chicks, my mom, we wrote um it was like new Chiefs fan coming 2023, and my mom got it instantly. The Emperor was like squinting, trying to read it in the dark basement because we watched something, and he didn't get it. My mom's like jumping up and down, excited, and he looks over and he goes, "Oh!" So I got the same kind of reaction your dad had, which is hilarious.
That'll definitely be a topic of the conversation for the
Yeah,
dad's episode. So,
yeah. We'll hit on that. We'll hit on that eventually.
oh
That will be an
my.
episode. I know some people are excited to hear the bulldozer come on and talk with the emperor.
Oh gosh.
Two people that
It'd
have
be
never met. I'm assuming that at the wedding, my dad talked to your dad, but I'm really not exactly sure.
I saw that. Fast hands.
There's a bug flying in my room.
I don't know if they really talked, but I know he went up because I like to have the family involved as much as possible during a
Yeah,
wedding. And so I went over to Caleb's dad and I said, "Hey, would you want be willing to do the prayer before for the reception before everyone starts to eat?" And he goes, "Oh no, no, I'm good." Something to the tune of that. And my cousin Hannah says, "Ask Uncle Bill," which is obviously my dad. And I said, "Perfect. He'll do it. I know he'll do it. Like there's no questions. He's just more like, when do I get the microphone?"
yeah,
It's all he needs to know.
yeah.
So I go up and say, "Hey, Dad. Hey, you're doing the opening. You're doing the prayer." He's like, "Sweet. When?" I said, "I'll go talk to Jeremy and I'll get with him." So I go over and I talk to your dad. I say, "Hey, Jeremy, Dad's going to do the prayer. Give him a signal. Give him something. I'll tell me and I'll tell him to go up, or he'll figure it out." Which of course he doesn't. He looks at me right when I can see Jeremy's got the mic in hand and he's kind of like, "Hey, why don't you come over here and get this?" And
Yeah,
I was like, hey dad, hey, why don't you go grab the mic? Okay, so he goes up and
okay.
gets it. I don't know if they talked or probably not, but
Probably not. I don't know. Well, it'd be fun to get them in together because they're both characters. I know that for sure. So having them both we might not get to talk during that episode. That's for sure.
oh gosh, who
Yeah,
knows? Especially when they get going. Well, I don't know. Well, oh
yeah,
gosh.
yeah. But yeah, so that's our big announcement for this episode. Like I said, we put it out a couple. Well, you guys were last week, and we were at the beginning of this week, and
Yeah, I think you guys were a week after us, so
yeah. So excited, fun, glad
great pictures,
everybody's
great pictures. We should put those on the social media page.
there. We go. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do
Oh,
that. I'll make a post of all four of them together. Um, I do just want to say, everybody, welcome back. This is episode 57. This is Rewatchable Series Part 3. We're going to talk about a movie that I think you guys are going to all enjoy because it's not going to be um, equal on both sides. So I think it's going to be a fun conversation we have today. We do have some other stuff we want to talk about beforehand. Obviously, emails. We have been getting consistent emails, and I love it. I love getting the emails. I love everybody
yes.
sending us stuff every week. I love when I just open my email, to go through it a little bit, and then I pull up the extra emails I have on, and I see that the Call Guys has a couple, and I'm like, all right, do I read them now or do I wait? Do I wait until? So sometimes I like to go and read them early just to see what they say. But I appreciate anybody that does send an email. So yeah, let's hit on a couple of those. We have three, and I think you're gonna start the first one.
Yeah, this one is titled "No Subject," so good job
Yeah.
there.
Woo!
It starts out Vanilla Thunder. Boo, boo to your take on the Goonies. Really? What the hell is wrong with you? Nothing is wrong with me, sir or madam. Okay? Nothing is wrong. Fade in, fade out. Song is a great song, but you really need to watch the video to get the full impact. It will leave you in tears, and the song itself will never be the same when you hear it on the radio. Chico, I can't believe you didn't mention Al Snow. I
My
mean, you
bad.
even met him a few years ago. How dare you?
A few years ago. It's more like 16 years ago. Like I remember, I do actually remember that day because we went to I don't remember what town it is in Ohio, but there's a Hall of Fame there, and I don't know if my grandpa was getting inducted. I can't remember exactly what it was, but Al Snow was there, and my dad and Al Snow kind of grew up together. Al Snow did go to the WWF when it was still the WWF and actually wrestled,
Oh, wow.
and got to meet him. Got his autograph on a old newspaper article kind of thing, like a flyer. And yeah, I mean that was fun. But yeah, sorry, I didn't even think about Al Snow. But yeah, Al Snow, gotta love him.
How dare you?
How dare me?
And last but not least, Vanilla Thunder. You know you don't want to go up against the rocker chick. She will give you a whole new meaning to dying on that hill. I am not scared of the rocker chick at all. She does not scare me. That's all I'm
You
going to say.
you don't want to see my mad man.
That's all I'm going to say. Do you think she's. Yeah, I don't think she scares me. She's not about 5'10 with glasses, beard, bald head. No, I don't think she fits that criteria. So,
She'll get
oh,
you.
this is also from the Emperor. So thank
Yeah.
you, Emperor, for reaching out to the callguyspodcast at gmail.com. Kind of hitting us up a couple times in a row here. So just thanks for getting back to us. And Gunnar, let's get to the next one.
All right, you know who it is. He's back again. We love your emails. ISO Cam, keep sending them because you sent some of the best emails. I
Oh
swear.
my gosh.
Between you and Arian, man, it's a toss up. Arian, we haven't heard from you in a while, so I'm waiting. Send us an email. You're gonna be on here in a couple episodes. We need an email. Let's go. Send us
Need
an
some
email.
dialogue.
All right, so Cam, back again with another email. And he says, I know you wanted me to watch the Goonies again, refresh my memory, but I'm with Colton. Couldn't bring myself to do it. Oops. But I
My
did give,
man.
yeah, but I did give Mighty Ducks D2 a watch. One major thing I want to say Ken Woo. I'm writing this live while watching it. Seeing Ken Woo, I already know that I will love him. That scene of getting the Ducks back together was a masterpiece. I also love Jesse and Russ. Um, Picture me jumping around because Ken Woo scores, of course. He said he has a couple quotes in here. Hey Goldberg, I bet if that puck was a cheeseburger, you'd stop it. Woo woo woo, Kenny Woo. Yes, live reaction. USA, USA. I don't even like hockey, but I'm actually crying right now in tears of joy. Thank you, Call Guys, for my new favorite sports movie, and I don't even like the sport. I didn't think this would pass Goon 2, but it did. Sorry for the long email. Cam, that was not a long email. You can send us novels, and we'd love to read them. But yes, I'm so happy you enjoyed the Mighty Ducks 2. I love the Mighty Ducks 2. I hope anybody else that listened to last week's episode also went back and watched Mighty Ducks 2 and enjoyed it as much as we did, as much as Cam did, because I'm assuming he's never seen it before if he had this reaction. So, yeah. Well, Cam, you have to let us know what you think about this week's movie.
Oh yeah, Cam. As always, man. I love the emails. Keep them coming. Keep them coming, man. You do great. Love the work. Last but not least, this one's titled "Boys, I'm Back."
I'm back.
Hello, call guys. Oldest sister here. I've been meaning to email you since the top 5 Netflix series, but alas, the world of youth sports is always moving, so here I am a few weeks late. My quick top 3 Netflix series are: number 3, Ozark; number 2, The Queen's Gambit. No, it doesn't make me cry. I appreciate that.
Mhm.
Number 1, The Crown. And let me
Nice.
be honest about my number 1 real quick. I do not care one iota about the parts with the royal family. But seasons 1, 2, and 3, and the sharing of the Queen's history with some of the greatest historical people of all time, Winston Churchill, her uncle who abdicated from the throne,
There you go.
who was abdicated from the throne, and his ties to Hitler and the Nazi Party, the Queen's own in-laws and their ties to the Nazi movement, the seizure of the Suez Canal, the debacle with the Kennedys and of our own President Eisenhower. We love all the history and all it brings, and it brings them all to the forefront. I can't lie. I was a little sad when the Queen passed away. She was one of the last pieces of walking, talking history. What a gal. God save the king. You're welcome. Also, I'm loving the current rewatchable series. I've never seen the Goonies. Huh.
Interesting.
And probably won't until my volleyball season is over. Your recap of D2 was amazing. Love the entire episode. Can't wait for the next few weeks. But for now, the real reason of the email, I want to bring to your attention that I think you gentlemen have missed your true calling. Chico, Vanilla Thunder,
Ah,
and the Emperor. You need to start a business. CG Weddings. Call Guy Weddings. Your one-stop shop for all wedding things. Our family is still talking about our cousin's wedding in March. We loved everything about it. Gunnar, you were the most professional videographer I think I've ever encountered. The thoroughness and amount of time you spent at the venue with the bridal party isn't one that you see very often. Colton, the execution of the ceremony was beautiful. You made it about the couple and the importance of what marriage is all about. You made people laugh. You made them cry. I was a proud sister. And honestly, you might have got a tear out of me too. And to the Emperor, you ran that reception. I truly believe that DJs can make or break a party. My husband and I talked about throwing our own party at our house just to have you work for us. Just hands down, 10 out of 10 recommend. Wow. Good review.
dang. CG
With
wedding.
all with all this being said, if you're listening to this podcast right now and getting married, go to the merch store, click on CG Weddings and enter code Call Guys for 10% off your upcoming wedding package. There you go. I just made a thing.
Oh no.
As always, love you boys and what you do. Your biggest fan, oldest sister, Samantha.
Now listen, if any listeners out there go to the Call Guys merch store, the callguyspodcaststore.com, and actually go buy a shirt, and you're getting married, and you want a videographer or an officiant or a DJ, we'd totally be happy to help.
We know some people.
And maybe, just maybe, I'll somehow manage to find a way to give you 10% off of your next purchase or something. Probably not 10% off your full bill. But yeah, that'd be awesome. If like listeners started like emailing us like, yeah, I want to do our wedding. I have a reel.
Gosh.
I have a reel. I have Colton's entire ceremony on audio if you want to hear it. Just to
I
hear
do.
how
I want to hear that. I want to hear that. Send it to me now.
I will. I gotta pull it off the recorder.
Okay, we'll get to
Hannah, don't listen to that. I gotta get your wedding video started.
I don't know, they're on, they listen and then they don't listen, they listen then they don't listen, and I don't think we're on a don't listen phase right now.
Dang it. Well, Caleb, thank you for the follow on. I think you followed us on Facebook. I think you followed us on Instagram. So thanks for the follow.
Yeah, shout out to Caleb. He is a true YouTube OG.
Nice.
He's a day oneer. That's the only way he likes it. He likes to watch us. He likes to that's just the way he likes to listen to us. So yeah, man, appreciate you, man. Welcome to the family. And that is all the emails. So those are great emails. Everybody is absolutely killing on the emails each and every week, guys. And I can't say it enough, and I'll keep saying it until the cows come home. Thank you so much for the emails. Thank you so much. We really appreciate the interaction we get to have with the fan base, and it just makes us feel like it's a little bit more worth it each and every week when we have some new people, some every weekers, and it's just so much fun. I really appreciate it. We can't say it enough. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your days to email us at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. So I just want to say thank you again. I can't say thank you enough. Gunner, the next question is: do we have a question of the pod?
We do.
Oh,
You just really hit me right here, man.
oh,
That was nice. That was nice. Thanking all the listeners for their emails. That was man.
I cannot say it enough.
I know.
I can't.
I love it. I think it's probably one of my favorite parts of every episode is going through and reading some of them because they make you laugh, they make you smile. So It's good. Yes, I do have a question to the pod. Anybody that's listened to the Call Guys since episode 1 and knows how Colton and I became friends, and that all started with video games.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up, that was the thing. We first time we ran into each other, we were at Jared's house for a LAN party, pretty much playing Call of
Yep.
Duty, and then kind of hit it off from there, talking movies and playing other video games, pretty much.
Yep.
Actually, pretty much mostly only playing video games, and then became friends by calling each other, and then now here we are. Um, so I wanna throw it way back to video games.
Oh.
And I'm gonna ask you this. This might be a really tough answer. I don't know that I have a full-hearted answer for this question.
Okay.
But what is your favorite video game console of all time?
The console, man.
I think this is a question that anybody can answer, which is awesome because there's so many stages of video games. There's so many stages of consoles. You have
Dude,
everything.
I'm thinking like I remember having an NES and playing
Hmm.
Super Mario 3, and I just, the nostalgia of that recently now is that I
The
had that on my
Switch.
Switch and I
Mhm.
just beat Super Mario 3.
Nice.
So like I have those feels right now. My dad traveled a lot for work when I was young, and so I think my da- I think I think my parents got me a PlayStation so I wouldn't get into trouble. I would say that's a
Reasonable.
good question for that's a good father's episode. We might have to write that down because I
Yeah.
think that's why he got us a PlayStation
Why did you buy a Golden PlayStation?
because I'm pretty sure it was to help with my mom. And three
And you
kids and
probably
him
spent a
not being.
lot of time playing that
Oh,
PlayStation.
yes, I did. I love that PlayStation. Um, so yeah, that you know the th- and then when the time came, and for me, I was probably PlayStation for forever. I got a PS2, and then from there, when I got my first big boy job, my first real job, I went out and I bought a 360 and Black Ops 2, and I've been Xbox ever since.
Yep.
Um, so I would say, man, but my favorite one, I'm gonna have to say that NES because we actually saved it, and I couldn't tell you where it is now, but we saved it, and I got to play it later on, and just that original nostalgia in it, it was
Hmm.
just, man, brought back some memories. What about you, man? That's a
I'm
good
gonna
question.
I'm gonna go I'm gonna go back around the same time you did, but I'm gonna go Super Nintendo. And
Nice.
man, and it's hard to toss. It's a hard toss up because I like you said, it was for me it was my first console was PlayStation 1, which I didn't play a lot of. It was more so my dad's than anybody else's. But we always had the Super Nintendo. Logan had a Sega, which we played all the time. And so we played like every console up. We went down to Kentucky one year, and my uncle actually gave us his original Xbox. And I remember
Nice.
bringing it home, and we played Crazy Taxi 3 like it was like our favorite game in the world. But then Halo, and you got all the Call of
Yep.
Duties, and then my other cousin had a PlayStation 2, and we go over and we played GTA all the time. So I mean, there was like I played every console, which was crazy. But Super Mario World was one of my
Mm,
favorites, and I we played the crap out of the game. We would level boost on the Yoshi Island, the little Yoshi world you could go to. You had to secretly unlock. You go up there and you just get lives. You just just go in there in and out the whole time. So you'd have like 100 lives, and then you'd run around, and once you got back down to like 10, you'd go back and re-get it yourself up to 100. I play that game on the Switch now too. Like I have it on there. Jared and I actually went back and we got almost to the end of the game and then stopped playing because we couldn't beat a level. So, um, but always enjoyed that console. So I'd have to say Super Nintendo, but I think the Switch gives everything a run for its money, to be honest.
I mean, what they're doing. What they're doing is fantastic.
Yeah,
Like, and when this just came out, actually last night, for the N64, Pokemon Stadium came out. I've been playing that like none other right now, ever since I beat Mario.
nice. I didn't
So
even
I,
know that.
yeah,
I'm gonna have to go play it.
yeah, I played GoldenEye when it came out for like a solid like 3 weeks.
I couldn't get the controls to work right for me.
Oh, dude, they are. It is so hard to play GoldenEye and reteach your mind in your hands how that game is set up.
Yeah,
And it's weird because it was just all one thumb was everything. And now you're holding the switch and you got two thumbs and you're just used to it.
yeah,
And it's, man, it was fun. I mean, I think they're just doing a really good job of not only getting all they're getting I feel like they're getting the right games, right iconic games back into these emulators essentially for
yeah,
everything that they've done.
yeah. I agree fully. I now I need to go play Pokemon Stadium because that is one of my favorite games of
Yep.
all time. I was over at the Skywalkers. Oh gosh, it's been a long time ago, and we were down in his basement, and he's got a bunch of consoles down there, and the 64 is sitting there, and I'm like, "You got Pokemon Stadium, right?" And we plug in, we're playing. We get like 3 attacks in, and it just randomly shuts off. It's like, oh, and then we restart. 3 attacks in, just shuts off. Like really, really. But
Oh man.
I love Stadium. I love the
Uh-huh.
64. I love Super Mario 64. Man, I there's just so many great Nintendo games out there and consoles that they had were even the GameCube. We used to play GameCube all the time.
Yeah, I didn't have a GameCube.
Oh
I think a
man,
buddy of mine had a GameCube and that was it.
Super
But
Monkey Ball.
Super Monkey, no, don't think I played that one.
That game was a blast. It was like a racing game, but you're a monkey inside of a glass sphere, and
Okay.
it was super fun. So, but yeah, there you go. Question of the pod. Anybody has an answer? Everybody that plays video games or loves video games, let us know what your favorite console of all time has been. If you're 80 years old and listen to the podcast and you used to play Sudoku on the you do the
Pong.
crossword. um no, seriously, whatever you think, whatever your favorite consoles are, let us know. We'd love to hear it. Callguyspodcast@gmail.com. But there you go. Question of the pod, Colton.
Nice. I liked it. A good one.
We're kind of flying through, but I think that's okay for this episode because I don't know how this conversation is going to go. I really don't know how this conversation is going to go. You've taken my hopes and dreams and crushed them for this movie.
Oh my gosh, I did not crush them
No, you didn't. It's okay.
yet.
It's okay because I mean I'm not gonna agree with you. I already know you hate this movie. I already know
I
what
know.
your ideas
Well,
are.
hold on. I
You hate
did
it. You're gonna trash it. You're gonna die on that hill. You're gonna say this movie sucks. I hate you, Gunner,
because
for picking this movie.
that's what I need to bring. Okay, done. Noted.
No, you don't have to
Okay.
bring that. It's okay.
Nope, it's on. It's on. Let me tell you how this movie ruined careers.
Did not ruin a single career that was in this movie. Most of the people in this movie actually went on to do some really good movies. So and
Yeah,
do
no,
big things.
there's some you hit me with one I didn't know right before we started, and I'm like, I'm excited to bring that up. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that, but
So this week we're gonna be talking about 13 going on 30.
Who are these women? Does anyone know? I don't recognize any of them. I want to see my best friend's big sister. And the girls from the soccer team. My next door neighbor. Real women who are smart and pretty and happy to be who they are. These are the women to look up to. Let's put life back into the magazine. And fun and laughter and silliness. I think all of us want to feel something that we've forgotten or turned our backs on. Because maybe we didn't realize how much we were leaving behind.
All right, so let's start this with a little bit of a synopsis, as always. I kind of like doing these synopses.
Yeah, I mean, you do a really good job with them.
You pull up Google, it's
Yeah, anybody can read
anybody
the
can
old
read.
Goog.
Not me. I can't read it all. I listen to books. Hey, you know what?
I just finished
I
Lord of the
feel it.
Rings too. I just
I
finished
know
Two
you
Towers.
have. I know you have.
I like there. I've already like got so many things to like want to talk about that I absolutely love about that book and absolutely I hate about that book, and the things they did in the movies that I wish they would have done, and things I wish they wouldn't have done. And
Yeah. Okay. That's for another episode.
that's a completely different episode. We are 13 going on 30.
Yes, we are. So here
Jennifer
you go.
Garner.
Here's the synopsis. A girl who's sick of the social structures of junior high is transformed into a grown-up overnight. In this feel-good fairy tale, teenager Jenna wants a boyfriend, and she's oh wow. And when she's unable to find one, she fantasizes about being a well-adjusted adult. Suddenly, her secret desire becomes reality, and she is transformed into a 30-year-old. But adulthood, with its own set of male-female challenges, isn't as easy as it looks.
Challenges. Her challenge is what? She wasn't a very nice person.
Well, yeah, and that's one.
What are you joking? What challenges was there? To be nice? Yeah. Chose wrong.
How much of that was influenced by her going to actually hang out and become friends with Judy Greer's character?
What is that? The Sinister Sticks?
Lucy.
What were they called? What were they called? Jeez, you want to talk about
the six chicks.
I mean, yeah, that obviously set her up to how she thought she was supposed to act and be. And it is clear as mud that Judy's character,
Lucy. I just looked it up. Yeah.
She was a manipulative little, bundle of joy that you would just want to hug and put their head underwater for too long, and just you'd want to teach them a lesson. And she just never got that.
Yeah.
I believe there are some people in this world that, I think they'd turn out a lot better if they just would have got punched in the nose at some point in time in their life. And she's one of them. Not advocating for violence, but that realization that, oh no, I've screwed up and this is not right. She never had that moment.
Yeah, and I think that influence and the way that it actually happened, and then them working together at Poise and all that stuff, that's rubbed off on her and made her such a bad person. So I see that as the entire way that Jenna is during the portion of her life that we don't see is all influenced by Lucy and them being friends.
Yep, I think 100%, because as soon as she starts to realize who she was as a 13-year-old girl and the things that she thought she wanted, it was just, you just know that she has a good moral compass, unlike Lucy, who has no compass.
Yeah.
Let alone any idea of the directions he's heading in, other than anything that's bettering herself, no matter what.
Yeah.
So
let's do it a little differently this week. Let's talk about characters first, since we're mentioning names that we haven't discussed yet. We do have Jenna Rink. We have the 13-year-old Jenna Rink, and then we have the 30-year-old Jenna Rink. The younger Jenna, she's kind of the nerdy girl at school. She's being taken advantage of by the six chicks doing their homework. They're playing jokes on her, doing tricks and stuff, all this stuff to get her to do their projects. They're kind of the bullies, the bully group.
Stupid junior high BS.
Yeah, exactly. Her whole thing as a 13-year-old is she just wants to be cool. She wants to look like the models. She wants to. It's set in that early 2000s, right? Is that when it's set, or is it set in the 80s? It'd be set in the 80s at this point. And then it goes to 2000. Yeah, it goes to 2004 later. That's right. So yeah, that time period is all the colorful stuff, the big hair, all that stuff. She's just trying to be cool. And then you have older Jenna when she transforms into being 30. And the Emperor was talking to us about this earlier. It's Jennifer Garner playing a 13-year-old, which he's told us he thought was just kind of odd in a movie like this. But yeah, so Jennifer Garner plays the older version of Jenna. She's a magazine editor. She's living her dream job. As we said before, she's kind of rude and she's kind of thinks she's above everybody else.
She's not a nice person.
No. And then towards the end of the film gets that she realizes that being the adult is not what she needs to do right now. She realizes what kind of a person she's going to be if she doesn't change the person she is now. So she does the whole magical wish thing, goes back. But then you have a young Matt Flamhalf and an old Matt Flamhalf, and young Matt is the nerdy kid that is best friends with Jenna and is the yearbook photographer. And then you get older Matt, who is played by Mark Ruffalo, who is a photographer. He's getting married and he has to decide towards the end of the movie whether or not he wants to be with Jenna or his fiance, but ends up going through with the wedding. And that's when she flips it all around and goes back to the exact moment where she can change that point. And then who else? We got Lucy, who we've talked about already, who is one of the leader of the Six Chicks. When she's older, she's kind of Jenna's best friend, with quotes around that, because she still kind of envies her.
They're not friends.
Yeah. And they work at Poise together. And towards the middle of the movie, she kind of gets revenge on Jenna for Jenna being kind of just better at their job than she is, I guess. There's not really a whole story behind that. It's just that she tries to beat Jenna all the time and can't do it because she's better. And then let's just go with Richard Nealand, who is the boss at Poise. He runs with the editors, and to me, he just played. It was Andy Serkis, and Nicole and I have talked about Andy Serkis a lot lately. But I think he's just kind of the comedic relief. He's there for the fun, and he's there to be that boss that tries to push him to do things to help the company grow. So that's all I got for characters. Do you have any others that you want to hit on before we?
I mean, not really. I mean, that's about it, really. I mean,
We'll get
as long
into-
as you hit those.
We'll get into the Six Chicks when we talk about actors and actresses. Jog on.
Yeah, jog on. There we go. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear.
So, Colton, give me your initial thoughts after watching this movie.
I mean, talk about classic case of getting everything you wanted, but not liking who you became, and in order to get the things that you thought you wanted, and then having a free get out of jail free card just waiting in the back. Yeah. Good for her. Good for her for having that. Glad it was in the script. I just don't like this movie. I don't know what it is. I laughed. There's some funny parts. I just felt like it was too happy of an ending. It's like, oh, I got everything I wanted, but oh, I didn't like who I became. But hey, guess what? I can go back and I can do it all right this time. Because that's exactly how it works in the real world. Like, come on.
Well, it's not meant to be.
And I know
real
it's
world.
a movie, and I know. There's time travel in this movie. Or do you consider this time travel? I got an argument with my wife over it because she's like, "It's a wish." I was like, "It's time travel."
Yeah,
It's not the same.
I wouldn't say time travel. I would say fairy tale with a little bit of time travel.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. This is not my kind of movie. There was a few characters that saved it for me in moments, but I don't like bullies at all. I don't like them. I get mad. I'm gonna call them. You're gonna call them the six chicks. I'm gonna call them the Sinister Six.
That's what they
Um,
are.
I just, I see those, I hear that, and I'm just like crack her across the nose is what I'm thinking to myself. Like,
Pull the
you're
old
so,
11 at the skating rink.
yeah, yeah. I'm like 11 when she did that. I was like, hit her again.
Yeah. One more
She's
time.
got it coming
Yeah.
because this isn't her first time. But I mean, it's just I don't know, man. It's just not my kind of movie. I don't.
Yeah. You don't really play these kind of movies as much.
No,
Um,
no.
I think that's where I'm a little bit opposite of you. And
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Tell me why I should watch this movie once a year instead of
I'm
once a
not
century.
I'm not saying that it's a once a year movie, and we'll get to that when we talk about whether this movie is rewatchable or not. Um, like I've said in the previous two episodes of this, is that Colt and I agreed on the list of movies for these episodes.
Dude, I've told you this. I've told you this. I wanted to broaden the horizon of the call, guys. I
Yeah.
want to stretch our creative minds and our movie legs and get out there and do some stuff that's a little uncomfortable.
Get
You
out
want
there,
to
show them who we are.
give me pictures of
'Cause
the Spider-Man.
We are ducks, and ducks fly together. You
That's
know
right.
that?
We fly together. That's right, Hans.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm just saying, I this movie,
Yeah.
I
Well,
thought I'd
let me
like it
say,
more. We should have watched How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I'd have been all over that.
or 10 Things I Hate About You.
10 Things I Hate About You would have been a good one.
Well, see, that's to me, this movie kind of falls a little bit in the same kind of genre as those movies also do. It's a little bit more on the sappy love story, feminine side of things, which to me is more of a guilty pleasure. Like, I enjoy watching some of those types of movies, not all of them. 10 Things I Hate About You is definitely along those lines. Um, when I was younger, I thought that this movie was one of those kind of sappy love stories, right? Now I kind of get to see it a little bit differently. It just to me is a little bit more quotable, kind of interesting. I was gonna go to the gas station and buy a pack of Razzles, but I completely forgot. I wanted to be chewing it and say, Colton, what color's my tongue? Like, it's just I've always enjoyed it, but it's not something I like go out of my way to turn on. Now, if it's something that's on TV, I'll watch it, but it's not like I'm gonna jump out of my way to watch it. And my real initial thoughts of going in and rewatching this is I knew what I was getting into. I mean, it wasn't like I was going to watch something new. I know how the movie goes. Um, I didn't enjoy it as much as the first time I ever watched it. Watching Mark Ruffalo and Jennifer Garner have like their relationship together is actually fun to watch. But I mean, this time around, I rewatching it. I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's a fun movie. There are points where you laugh. There are characters that you love. There are moments that are memorable, like the Thriller dance. I mean, in the Razzles, there's little things like that really bring you into it, and I almost kind of was distracted, I guess, because I mean, we were watching it and I wasn't as interested this time around as I have been in the past. And I don't know, maybe that's because I'm thinking about it differently now that we're actually talking about it in a whole different aspect, and I've thought about films differently now more than I usually do. But I think I'm getting into our last question a little bit here, so I'm going to stop. But my initial thoughts are that it felt less appealing this time around than it has the last 30, 40 times I've watched it, because I've seen this movie a ton, but I still did enjoy it just for the quotes, the memorable moments, the characters. I think there were a lot of things that really still pulled you in, but I wasn't fully enthralled in the whole thing. That makes sense.
Good for you.
I need more of a reaction than that. Let's go.
I know that's the dead fish. I just, that's what this movie is. Is it a dead fish to me? Okay, I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else heat you want me to bring. I mean, Jennifer Gardner. Are we? What are we? What's the next? What's the next part you're wanting to go to? Just
Oh,
let's go there.
scenes. Let's
Let's
go
leave there.
scenes. Let's go scenes. Favorite scene, least favorite scene.
I mean, I laughed, I think, the most when every time she was quoting Pat Benatar to these young girls.
Yeah.
And I was just
Yeah.
like, I look at my wife, I was like, if anything, Pat Benatar is going to save this movie, isn't it?
We are
Oh,
young. Yeah.
so that one, I mean, the dance scene is good. Um, I kind of like the scene where it's her and Ruffalo on his wedding day in his room and they're talking, and I kind of like that realization of like, yeah, you're too late. Like, I don't know. I was kind of like, I don't know. I guess when I watch a love story esque movie, even if it is this kind of movie, I want something like La La Land. I want
You
something
want
that's
tragedy.
real. Not
Tragedy.
necessarily tragedy, but I want real.
Yeah.
I want real. Like, if he would have went to the altar and said, "I just can't do it," runs after, um, runs after Jenna, and they get together, I'd be like, okay, I could get behind that. But to make this whole thing seem like it's a fairy tale and a look to the future, like,
It kind of almost is like crap. What's a not a Christmas story? What's the one with
click.
Scrooge? With Scrooge, where he
Oh,
gets to see his future.
Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol. There you go. I couldn't think of it. I don't know why. It almost has that kind of feeling because she gets to see. She gets
Yeah,
to live
like,
her future a little bit.
I mean, and that's the thing. That's the thing that I don't like about it, is that she is getting to do what she wants. She gets to live that lifestyle. Like,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, if I could have a wish and I can go and live the lifestyle of a 15-year NBA vet, I would so do that, and then be like, as soon as I get done with that, be like, yeah, I ain't spending 15 years putting up with this BS. Like,
Yeah.
let me just go back and let me just cycle back to some of those spots where I probably should have either got out or made some business deals, or done this or done that, and choose that route. And it's obvious that's what she wanted, is that
She
she wanted a boyfriend,
she wanted to be 30, flirty, and
30,
thriving.
flirty, and thriving.
That's right.
So she turned, and she realizes during this whole experiment, or this whole, I don't know what you want to call it, wish, that it's like, that is not what life is about, and that's not what I should be going for. Like,
Yeah.
the real things, the real people in your life are more important than, you know, being on
Living
the
your
cover of
dream.
your dream is a dream for a reason. It's not reality.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the point of the movie. Dreams should stay in dreams. In reality, you need to be 100% focused on,
Yeah. What
because
is
that's what
what
you
is the
can do.
lesson? What is the lesson of 13 going on 30? Maybe that's a question we start asking for every movie. What is the lesson of this film? What does it
Make
teach
sure
you
you
as a
make
human?
sure you know how to do the Thriller dance.
Oh yeah, if you know your host, and we're watching that scene. I look at Sarah. I said, who's somebody that could do that entire dance? Nobody.
I don't.
Yeah, I do want to say you brought up the before the wedding where she's up in the room with Matt,
Yeah.
or Jen is up there.
Yeah. Jenna and Matt.
I noticed this when she went back to her parents' house and they came downstairs after they got home from their cruise, and she was down in the closet. And I don't think I've noticed it before. And I was like, the Barbie house is gone.
Uh-huh.
The dream house is gone. And I didn't really think about it when I was watching this beforehand. I was like, it's gone. And then that scene comes back with Matt and it's in his closet.
You're not
I'm
going to
like,
throw this at me again, are you?
yeah, I'm like, why did he have that back? Which you never got to
Well,
see. They never
so
explained it.
well, he talks about when they were kids, um, when they're having that realization, she throws that house at Matt because she's mad that she thinks he embarrassed her, and
Yeah.
she doesn't have friends, the cool friends, because of him. So, but he actually took that house back to his house, fixed it up, and put
And
it
put
back
it
in his
in the-
closet because he still cared for her.
Yeah. I guess I
So
missed that. I get
because
around this time.
he's got that throwaway line. Oh, I won't call it a throwaway line now, but he's
But
opening he's opening it, he's getting it down and he's getting ready to give it to her. He's like, "You're not gonna throw this at me again, are you?"
yeah.
Like as a joke. And so I mean, I think that's when she realized like this is what I should have been working on the whole time. And this house is the house that means more to me than anything else I've ever done in my, short adult life.
Well, also, if she threw it at him and he fixed it, how is there still some of that wish dust? On
That
there?
is a
Didn't
great
you think, Don't you
question.
think he would have cleaned that off of there?
Great question, but maybe he's just a sentimental guy who just wants to, relish the moment of when he gave it to her and what that dust of sprinkled dust magic means. I don't know.
Sprinkle dust magic. Okay, that's just, dude. This fly is bugging
Dude,
the
I was
crap out
gonna
of me.
say, man, have you caught that thing yet?
I haven't. It keeps dodging my hands. I'll go favorite scenes. I'm gonna pick two, as always. I think the transition scene of Jenna becoming an adult when she's in the apartment and she wakes up and she's in a whole different place and she doesn't know, and she's like walking through, she sees herself in the mirror, and then she falls over the little island bar style thing right there. And then what does she call the hockey player? The naked guy,
Oh,
or
geez, yeah, something about the naked guy, or
yeah.
yeah, sounds
She
about
sees
right.
him, she freaks out, and then she goes walking around town in her nightgown for
Yeah,
goes to
or
work in her
90,
nightgown. Yeah.
90 with a jacket and a clutch.
Yep. And then I'm gonna say the razzle scene where they come out with her and Mark are eating the razzles, and she's like, "Maddie, what color's my tongue?" And he's like, Why?" And yeah, you get the whole razzle red thing. And I've used that line a couple times. I've had razzles within the last year. I just can't remember where I bought them at, but not a great candy, not at all.
Oh,
Not at all. And then obviously the thriller, like you mentioned, the thriller scene's fun. I did read an article about it actually that said that Mark Ruffalo almost quit the film because of that scene. He did not want to do the thriller dance. He was so embarrassed. So he almost had quit the movie because of that scene, and they got him to do it.
Wow, didn't know that. That's a neat little fact.
Yeah. Do you have a least favorite scene?
Oh, the bully scenes, those make me mad.
That's what I have. I have the
I
six
can't
chicks.
stand those at all. I get very frustrated with those.
Yeah.
So.
I think that that initial moment when they enter for the first time, it's like, yeah, I don't like these characters already. And yeah, it's not a fan of that click style arc kind of thing. It's not fun to me.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So, who's your favorite character? We talked about this in our pre-production. You wouldn't give me the answer, so I'm excited to hear it.
Arlene.
I did. I guessed it.
You did guess
I
it.
loved Arlene too. She was good.
She was fantastic. I loved her. She was great, comical.
Yes.
My favorite scene with her though is when she's giving her messages to Jenna after a meeting, and one of them is very, very explicit.
Vulgar.
And vulgar. And she goes and she takes it and she's just reading it the whole time and just awkward. And she's like, "I'll take those so you don't have to read the rest of those."
Maybe I should read those. Yeah.
Yes, maybe I should read those. Yes, just great. I think she was a fantastic side character when
For sure.
Jenna told her to stick around during that meeting and Andy was like, "What are you doing here?" And she's like, "She's staying," and she's kind of like, "Suck, Andy."
Yeah.
That's kind of what she gave him. Or Richard.
The other one is when they get down to the when they get to the point where her pictures are printed and they're going to pick them up, and Jenna starts walking away and she turns, she's like, "Are you coming?" And Richard goes, "Oh, you get to go now too?" And he's
Oh
like,
yeah.
"What about
He's
me?"
like, what about me? I'm just the editor in chief. I guess I'm
Yeah.
nobody.
Yeah. I thought that was hilarious. I'm gonna say Andy Serkis as Richard. I think that he was my favorite character. Just funny, the comic relief. He's just so outgoing, like as an actor, just the way that he would like perform his lines, just put the effort behind it. And I'm not saying it because we're reading Lord of the Rings. I promise. I'm not saying it because he was awesome in Andor and because of his Marvel affiliations. I just like his character in this movie. Lighthearted, caring, funny, just a good character.
I mean, just a great. He did like. I mean, you see that movie, obviously now, and you think of all the movies he's. I mean, he's known as Caesar for Planet
Mhm.
of the Apes,
Yep.
Gollum, Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
I mean, we got Andor. He's Alfred in the new Batman.
Mhm.
I mean, the list goes on and on of what he's done, and you look back and you're like 13 going on 30. What? Like
Yeah.
just a crazy movie to think about. Like I'm going through his IMDb right now, and I'm just like I'm trying to go find something like some of the earliest things that I can realize that he did.
Yeah.
And it's just the what he's got on here. Hell, he was in Clueless.
Mhm. So let's go over the actors since you're hitting on Andy Serkis right now. You
I
said Planet of
mean,
the Apes, Lord of the Rings, The Batman, Black Panther. I mean, he's literally a part of every single fandom possible.
yeah, he is a true nerd.
Yeah. He's got to be, right? I mean, that's the only thing you think. Um,
Yeah.
Jennifer Garner, Daredevil, Elektra, The Atom Project, Juno, tons of other things. I just listed the ones that I know I love. Although Elektra is all right. Mark Ruffalo. We all love Mark Ruffalo. Marvel, Now You See Me, Begin Again, The Atom Project with Jennifer Garner, which we talked about a while
Mm-hmm.
back. And then Judy Greer. I mean,
Oh
she
my
plays
gosh.
Lucy, and she was in Two and a Half Men. She was in Jurassic World, Ant-Man. I mean, once again, another actress that's been in like every fandom that you can think of.
She is the equivalent to Paul Rudd. She looks the exact same, hasn't aged a bit. She is the female version of Paul Rudd. And those two, this is 40.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, yeah, you can do Ant-Man. Like, jeez. I feel like her list is just as impressive than anybody else on there.
Yeah, I completely agree. And she's not an actress that you like think like I love watching Judy Greer, but she's in so much stuff. It's like, why don't we talk about her more often? When is she gonna get like a full on leading role? You know, hopefully sooner than later. But
Yeah.
um we talked about Andy Circus, and then we have a couple of six chicks that I want to hit on. Because
Yes,
the
Sinister Six.
one yeah, the one surprised you a lot actually, and
Yeah, I did not know this.
that is Brie Larson is one of the six chicks. And yes, it's a very surprising. She's so young, but you can see in her face, like it's like she hasn't grown into her own face at this point yet. Like it's just like it's different. And then
Yeah.
you really focus, and you can tell it's her. But we all know Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, Scott Pilgrim. She was in The Gambler. I don't know if you ever watched The Gambler. I love that movie. With Mark Wahlberg. You have to go check it
Wait,
out.
I think I have seen that one.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. And then Ashley Benson, who was huge in Pretty Little Liars, and she was
Yeah.
also in Pixels. Um,
Man,
not
Pretty
a
Little
whole lot for
Liars.
her. Yeah, not a whole lot for her, but definitely interesting to see some of the people that are in this film that you wouldn't think about. Like her mom. Her
Kathy Baker.
mom, yes. Bev Bev. She was in The Ranch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
He
yeah.
played
There she is.
One of Bo's girlfriends at one point, and it's one of those you don't think about. I have how long has it been since I watched this movie and watched The Ranch so close together to would think about it, but she popped up on screen. I'm like, holy crap! Didn't even think about that before. So yeah, I do have a couple quotes for you. We already said one of them. 30, flirty. and thriving. What color is my tongue? Razzle red. I like your dress. Yeah, because I have these incredible boobs to fill it.
Yes,
I
I
mean,
think
it's just
everybody that. Yeah.
it's fun. I mean, it is a fun movie. I mean, not gonna deny that it's fun to watch and that you do laugh. Um, but I do have a question for you, Colton.
What's that?
Is this movie rewatchable?
No, it is not rewatchable. I don't know why you would ever think that this movie is rewatchable.
100% is.
You're 100% wrong.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Any, yeah.
I think you're right. I think they do have some iconic quotes. I think that's all it is. It's just a recordable movie. It's just a quotable movie that people can have. You know, the plot is what kills me. The story is how can you? I don't know how. I don't. I just maybe it's just not my kind of movie, which I think we all know is not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's so. No, this is not a rewatchable movie. So, Gunnar, is this a rewatchable movie to you?
I'm not gonna say that I agree with you. That it's but I'm not gonna say I don't agree with you. Don't think I would ever just turn. I said this before. I'm not gonna turn this movie on for the hell of it. I'm not gonna just walk up and turn it on. I watched it this week because it was on our list to watch. That was the reason I watched it. I don't know that I would have watched it randomly if it wasn't on our list to watch. But you just said literally what I have it written in my notes because Colton and I have a sheet we fill out for these. And I said it is rewatchable because of the quotable moments in particular scenes. That is word for word what I have written on here. It's a funny story. It has that Freaky Friday kind of the big vibes, which I Freaky Friday I could give or take. This one I could watch big. I obviously is on my wall. But I don't know. I've watched it for years and I've watched it multiple times. I just don't know that I'd go out of my way to watch it. So in the sense of it being quotable, and when we did our top 5 rewatchable movies, we said that being quotable does account for a movie to be rewatchable, then yeah, it is to me rewatchable. It's got great scenes, it's got fun characters, great actors, great actresses, and it's got a lot of good quotes. And yeah, so I'm gonna say yes. It is rewatchable for those reasons.
It's a shame.
I guess I'm doing it more towards the written reason why something's rewatchable, not the fact that I would actually go and rewatch it.
That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense.
It makes sense. Everybody out there, does that make sense? If no, send me an email. Yell at me. Tell me, Gunnar, this movie's not rewatchable. And then I'll rebuttal.
Rebuttal. Yeah. More like not rebuttal.
Yeah, exactly. Where's your comeback, Colton? All right. Well, I'll get you off of this movie unless you have a question for me.
I've got the same old question I've asked for the other ones, man. If they remade this movie, would you watch it? Does this movie need to be remade? And would you watch it if it was?
No. Don't remake it. It's fine where it's at. The only thing you do is make it worse.
Oh, I agree.
I say don't ever. I don't. If you did remake it, I probably wouldn't watch it. It would probably be way cheesier and way dumber. I think what you have now is a good level movie that I can watch if I'm bored, and I think that's okay. That's okay. You got a great cast. You got great actors. Like, it's just good how it is. I don't know that there's anybody I know who you'd recast for this movie if you were to make a remake. But, it's only almost 20 years old. So, I mean, yeah. But no.
I think it's fine. I think it's fine where it's at.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. You just said what I said, and I think it's fine. 8 words. And I went,
oh my gosh.
Nice.
So yeah, man, that's all I got. That's
Any
all I
final?
got.
No final thoughts.
No final thoughts.
Anybody out there listening?
Yeah. If you made it this far, congratulations.
I mean, I think this is a great subject for us to talk about. To be honest, something along these lines that's a little different, like you said. I think it is.
Like I said, we're also doing some other things coming up this year that are going to be way outside my comfort zone when it comes to movies and going about them. So, I like I said, I'm just trying to broaden my movie horizon.
Good for
Because
you.
I'm telling you, the only reason I would have watched this is because a girl or my sisters. The only two reasons why I ever would have watched this movie
Or
growing up.
me. Oh yeah.
So, because
That's
I was
okay.
13, I was 13 when this movie came out, and yeah, no desire.
Dang. Didn't even think about that. I was 9.
Oh my.
All right. Well, you know what? We will call it quits on 13 going on 30. If you have made it through the whole episode, please send us an email. If you've seen this movie or if you're watching the movies along with us, which I hope everybody out there that is listening goes and watches every movie that we're talking about. That way you can send us an email. thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you think about each of these movies. Let us know if you think they're rewatchable. Let us know what your favorite scenes, favorite quotes, favorite actors, all that good stuff. Let us know. thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. And Colton, like you said, we've got a lot of fun things coming up. A lot of things to get us out of our comfort zone. A lot of things that will, make us do something that we don't necessarily do every single week. Whether it's not lists, whether it's going to do something, whether like we want to try new things. And that's what we're trying to get around to this year. Obviously posting more, getting the attention of more listeners, trying to get people to come and listen to all 57 episodes. Like if we could get people to start from the beginning and listen to where we are now, that would help us a lot. So if you have friends that haven't listened, let them know about the Call Guys podcast. If you're close to us and you want some stickers to hand out, I got plenty of stickers. I can get them to you. If you want to just hand out stickers, all that good stuff to people who aren't listening that you think should be listening, that you think would enjoy. I'd love to hand out some stickers to get out to people that aren't listening. So, other than that, I just want to thank everybody that listens and every week sends us emails. Everybody that's watched on YouTube, liking our posts on Facebook, sharing. I appreciate it all. And yeah, Colton, if you don't have anything else, I'm gonna plug some pods.
Love you, brother.
Love you, brother. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to the Call Guys podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, anywhere you get your podcasts. You can also watch us on YouTube. Please go watch us on YouTube. Like, subscribe, click that bell, get notifications from when we post every single Monday on YouTube, along with all of your favorite podcast sites. If you want to check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/thecallguyspod, Instagram @thecallguys, and TikTok @thecallguyspodcast. And then I don't know how many times an episode, if we could tally how many times we've mentioned the email. We mentioned a lot. So send us an email, thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com, and we will more than likely read it on an episode. So yeah, please send us an email. We actually plugged the merch store earlier in the episode, so it's still up if you want to go check it out. thecallguyspodcaststore.com. There's actually a lot of cool stuff on there, so go check it out. We'll probably never actually take it down. It'll probably still be there. But yeah, go check it out if you want to buy a shirt. And then when you're done buying a shirt and listening to us, you can go check out all the other podcasts on the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network of podcasts, whether that be the Golden Image Podcast, the Murdnerds, the United States of Paranormal, the Indiana Chiefs fans, A Quart of Books and Booze, and then whatever else the Emperor has coming up in his list of podcasts, which I'm going to have to add to my plugs. So go check them all out. They're all listed in our podcast notes, all their Facebook pages, websites, link trees, whatever it is we have down there. Go check them out. We'd love all the love and support and all the podcasts under the umbrella. I mean, we have some fun. Where the spectrum is so wide, it's like you can get everything from paranormal to pop culture. So
Mm-hmm.
Golden Mojo Entertainment, from paranormal to pop culture.
Ooh.
Slogan.
You're welcome, Emperor.
That's right. Colton, anything else?
No, man. No, man. Did we plug next week's episode?
Oh, do it.
Next week, the movie y'all need to be watching is I'm going to call it a cult classic.
I agree.
It's Wedding Crashers. So get out there, watch a classic Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn.
Is this the first movie they did together? That kind of, catapulted that relationship? That movie relationship? I'm going to have to do some research.
That's
Hey,
right. I was just going to say that.
we'll have to find out. I guess we will find out next week at the Call Guys. So, watch the movie, let us know. Shoot us an email at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com, and look forward to those emails. And as always, brother, congratulations. Looking forward again for you becoming a first-time dad. I'm excited for you, and can't wait to see how you and the missus grow.
Hey, I'm happy you're a first-time dad also, and about to be a second-time dad.
Oh my
All
gosh!
right.
Yep.
All right, everybody out there in podcast land, thanks for listening. See you next time.
Later. Love is a battlefield. We are young.